Airbnb went shopping, and rumor has it they made a heck of a purchase. The Hustle, Tuesday, January 25th, 2017. Brought to you by Goorin Brothers, Bold Hatmakers. Airbnb with the potential purchase of the year. According to reports, Airbnb is closing in on a deal to acquire Tilt for somewhere between $10 million and $20 million. Rough price tag for the social payment startup, which has raised $62 million and was once valued at $400 million, right around the time co-founder James Bishara spoke at HustleCon. However, many employees will be offered positions, so that should lessen the blow. As for Airbnb, the purchase makes all the sense in the world and could prove critical to its future growth. But before we get to that, a little background on Tilt. It began in 2012 as a crowdfunding platform called CrowdTilt, while its rivals focused on use cases, GoFundMe, individual pursuits, Kickstarter, projects. It focused on a demographic, college students. Over the last couple years, the company has turned its attention to international markets in an attempt to beat the competition to the punch abroad. Has the strategy worked? Well, considering Tilt's monthly active users fell by 32% over the last 3 months, and again, that price tag, we'd say that's a hard no. Fortunately, Airbnb doesn't care whether Tilt fared overseas. They're shutting down the app anyway. What they do care about is the technology and expertise needed to process cross-currency payments on a global scale, which is not easy to do. Why? Because for Airbnb to become a universal travel platform, being able to process transactions worldwide is a necessity. 2 more reasons why this makes so much darn sense for Airbnb. Bullet points coming in hot. Airbnb wants to be the hub for your entire vacation, not just the app you use to rent a room. Curated experiences, local tour guides, flight booking, they want to do it all. So getting a bunch payments experts on staff is a huge win. The easier it becomes to split the bill on Airbnb, the further they pull away from the competition, hotels and resorts. Tilt built a one-to-one payments platform like Venmo and obviously knows what's up with group payments, so again, huge win. Social media. Bullet points rule. Shoot for the moon, kids. 5 teams now have until the end of the year to make it to the moon as finalists in Google's Lunar XPrize competition. Whoever comes out on top will win bragging rights as the first private venture to land a spacecraft on the moon and a grand prize of $20 million. Let's take a look at the contenders. Space IL, Israel. In 2015, the team announced that its lunar craft Sparrow had paid to hitch a ride on a SpaceX Falcon 9 for its 2017 launch, which could be tricky considering their recent setbacks. Moon Express, California. They've signed a contract with startup Rocket Labs to ride on their rocket, Electron, which starts test flights this month. They also somehow managed to make a sick spaceship sound like a bus route. Synergy Moon, Global. These guys will fly on a rocket owned by its co-founder's company, Interorbital Systems, which plans to launch from the open ocean. Spaceships ahoy! Indus, India. Indus is launching from a rocket they bought from the Indian Space Research Organization that has already made several successful interplanetary flights, including to Mars, so it's looking like a pretty safe bet. Hakuto, Japan. Team Japan takes the cake for Klingons. They're paying Indus to let their rover ride along on the same rocket to the moon. Pretty generous, Indus. Wait, so everyone's just hitching a ride? Seems like a cheap way to win, right? But actually, making it to the moon is only the first hurdle. According to the rules, they also have to travel 500 meters and transmit high-def video back to Earth. That's when teams will have the opportunity to showcase their unique rover technology, assuming they make it that far. And it's been a long time coming. The prize was first announced in 2007, and the XPrize Foundation is just about ready to throw in the towel. The new launch deadline has already been delayed 5 years after no teams hit the original 2012 goal, and they've agreed to call all of it if no one makes this year's cutoff. Social media. One giant leap for $20 million. Magic Leap sets its sights on healthcare. Over the past few weeks, Magic Leap has gotten approval on over a dozen patents for technology to diagnose eye conditions, which is cool, but not giant whale in a gymnasium cool. The mixed reality company is still in hot water for delays surrounding its technology that projects 3D objects among real-life objects, see Gym Whale. So it looks like they're settling for something a bit more realistic in the meantime. Eyes on a new prize. The recent Magic Leap patents tackle everything from color blindness to lazy eyes, including a device to determine optical prescriptions. According to the application, this goggle-like diagnostic tool will replace bulky and expensive devices used exclusively in doctors' offices. In theory, this could make eye care more accessible by distributing devices at local pharmacies or eyewear stores, so a much more practical application than making a tiny elephant dance around on your hand, and a lot less magical. What are they going to tell us next? The tooth fairy isn't real? But hey, good on Magic Leap for making something that might actually start paying back the $1.3 billion they've received from investors, not to mention improve public health. Still want that baby elephant, though. Social media. How's the money get there, then? App Store reviews get a makeover. In addition to releasing macOS Sierra and iOS betas yesterday, Apple also introduced a new App Reviews API that improves nearly every aspect of the review process. Here's what they've improved. It's way easier to leave reviews. When you're prompted to leave a review, you will now stay inside the app as opposed to being taken to the App Store. Considering how many times we've hit 5 stars only to completely abandon everything the second we're forced to exit whatever we're doing, this will surely increase the number of reviews that are left. Apple will also limit developers to 3 review our app prompts per year and gives users the option to turn off all review requests across their apps. In other words, wave goodbye to those apps constantly begging you to show them some love. The more you ask, the more we hate you. What don't you understand? Developers can finally respond to you. Up until now, App Store reviews were a one-way street. You leave a review, the developers read it. No communication past that. But now, developers can respond directly to your feedback, and their responses will be attached right below, so the back and forth is clearly visible. This allows them to clear up any negative criticism, particularly stuff that's unwarranted, on a public forum for all other customers to see. Plus, it makes the App Store review section more of a frequently asked questions page, as opposed to a useless collection of "this is the best app" and "this is the worst app" forum posts. Social media. 5 stars for Apple. Wednesday, what have you? What was the last purchase you made for over $100? We really want to know and have a sneaky suspicion your fellow readers do too. Feel free to rate the purchase on a scale of worst decision of my life to best money ever spent. Join the conversation. This edition of The Hustle was brought to you by Goorin Brothers, bold hat makers. You might think you can't pull off the hat look. Maybe you're afraid you'll look too Indiana Jonesy, or that people will mistake you for a mysterious street artist with a villa in the south of France. Or maybe you've got a big old head and a skinny neck, and every time you try on a beanie you look like a human lollipop. Well, guess what? Your melon head is perfect just the way it is, and it'd be even more perfect with a hat. Goorin Brothers is bringing hats back into style with over 100 years of experience in haberdashery. That's a fancy word for hat making that sounds as cool as you'll look when you wear one. Guys, even Bill Murray's a fan. Still not convinced? Goorin Brothers offers a huge range of styles, from baseball caps to their newest hat called the Baker, which we're pretty sure they named after Kendall, so you're sure to find one that's flattering. They even have a guide to help you choose the perfect style and size for your face. Plus, they're offering a 15% discount exclusively to readers with promo code THEHUSTLE. So stop making excuses and start wearing hats again. The Hustle. Subscribe, jobs, advertise, ambassadors, events. Kendall, stuff gets named after me all the time. Baker. Writer. Lindsay Quinn, when your package comes a day early. John Havel, backseat editor. Al Ligori, in-house literary critic. You opted in by signing up, entering a giveaway, or through divine intervention. 1381 9th Avenue, San Francisco, California, 94122. In the United States, 415-506-7210. Never want to hear from us again? Break our hearts and unsubscribe.